Ladies and gents, welcome back to the TSR YouTube channel for season number 2 of the Glory Hunter save here on FC26. We have ticked off the first big step of the save. We have our first trophy. The Conference League has been secured. We have started season number 2. As you can see, we're in July. We've skipped through some of the contract preseason stuff. We haven't yet to play a preseason game, and we are still at Crystal Palace. Whether we stay at Crystal Palace, though, remains to be seen. We will be having a little look at the job market to see if anything is available, but we will be starting to build this squad as if we were staying. We will start by having a little look at the squad. We've already got rid of some players before technically they come into this season, so technically in last season. But let's have a little look at where we need to improve. So Dean Henderson will stay our keeper. We need one backup goalkeeper, that's for sure. We will probably look to get rid of both of these two because their contracts are expiring and realistically we don't need them and I could do with some money. So we'll try and get a goalkeeper in. Left back, we are going to try and get a goalkeeper in. We're going to try and get rid of Teo. We'll keep Sosa if we can't get somebody in. Tyron Mitchell, if he's our starter, great. If we get somebody better, ideal. So we will try and get a left back in. Centre back, we need 2. It is as simple as that. We've got there's a transfer request from Chris Richards because obviously he didn't play last season. So I'll look to ship him out and Canvot. We'll keep Lacroix and I'll try and get at least another 2 in. We may need 3 just for a bit of depth. I may keep Richards and run his contract down. Not sure about it yet. Right back, same little situation. We need another right back. I like Munoz as our starter, but we definitely need some cover there. CDM, we're absolutely fine. We have sold Will Hughes. Will Hughes is gone. And that's purely because, again, we've got so much depth here with the likes of Jefferson Lerma, Wharton, Ozzo, who, again, we may get rid of. Obviously, we've got Curtis Jones, who we're training to be a CDM now, who could also slot there. So you don't need a CDM. In the cam, again, we've got Cooper Miners. We may need to look to bring in one cam just for a bit of depth because we play Ismail Sarr on the right. So I think that's what we'll play him on the right. So that's what we'll do there. Then we've got Pino, who we play on the left along with Emerson Jr. We've got Raksaki, who's back off loan, and Esse. I think we'll look to bring in one winger and then offload one of these 2. Then up top, we've got Nketiah and Mateta. I think we need another better backup striker or a striker that is going to compete with Jean-Philippe Mateta, who just didn't get firing in season 1. So we've got plenty of signings to make to try and build this squad, which ties us then into the transfer budget. And the transfer budget looks pretty good. We've got £146 million to spend. £146 million in the budget for season number 2. So we've got plenty to play with. And we need to try and find some signings sooner rather than later because the season will shortly be here. And as we said, the manager market, there isn't anything really available as such, but there's some very insecure jobs out there. Real Madrid, Xabi Alonso, very insecure. Vincent Kompany at Bayern Munich, very insecure. Unai Emery at Aston Villa, I don't think that's the right move for us. Manchester United, Ruben Amorim, very insecure. Could be an interesting move. Marseille, potentially an interesting move, but I think trying to compete with PSG might be a step too far. Couple more very insecures, but I think that they are the main ones that really appeal to us and the ones that are standing out at the minute. So we will keep an eye on the job market. We've got a couple on our watch list, but we may end up being here for season number 2. But with that budget, we could potentially build something that could be quite special, but we will see, and we'll keep an eye on this as we go along. We need an instant impact at centre-back. We need someone with Premier League quality, and this could just be the man. We are going to try and sign 32-year-old John Stones, still 82 rated, £17 million. So this could be a very good Mark Gahey replacement if we can get the deal done. We'll go in at 15 million. They want 20. I'll be able to get that down. We can get that down, no doubt. Let's go down to 17.5 with that sell-on clause and see if they tickles their fancy. 18.9 will counter again with, let's just go flat 18 million. See if Pep will accept that for John Stones. 80.5 will accept it. I want John Stones in this club. I think he's exactly the kind of replacement we need and the Premier League experience we need. I'm expecting his wages to be rather high. Done 115 grand at the week. I'll give him a crucial role. I'm sure he'll like it. He does. 3-year deal will take him to 35. I think that's fine. Yeah, he doesn't mind that. We'll accept no release clause. Now it's all about the wages. I think we offer him exactly what he's on at Manchester City and see if he'll just accept that. He will accept that. Absolutely. John Stones, you are going to be a Crystal Palace player as he walks through the door. The first player of Season 2 is through. I think that's a good bit of business for us. I think that's a shrewd bit of business. With Mark Gay leaving, we could potentially have our new skipper right there, ladies and gentlemen. John Stones is a Crystal Palace player. Calvin Bassey, the next man on the target list, 26 years old, 80 rated. I think, again, he could be a good bit of business. We'll try and go in at 16. I don't think they'll accept that anyway, shape or form. They've got 17.2. We can counter that. We might be able to get him for a little bit cheaper than I thought here. 16.5. Will they accept that? They will accept that. So Calvin Bassey, again, could be our new centre-half partnership. Just need to get the contract negotiation done. I can't imagine he's on crazy wages. 72. Well, that's fairly high. We do have plenty to play with. 3-year deal. That would take him to 29. We don't want a release clause. Never want a release clause in there. Wages, again, I'm just going to offer him exactly what he's on at Fulham. And he will accept that. Our 2 new centre-halves are in. That takes us to 3. We may stick there for now. Potentially look to get a loan signing in if required. But again, another good business through the door. 2 centre-halves. There's going to be a busy transfer window, ladies and gents. Let me tell you that. Now, for some attacking intent, Amora from Wolfsburg, 26 years old, 81 rated, 29 million market value. He plays as a striker. He can also play on the left wing, which is what is dragging me towards him. This would be a very good bit of business. A pacey forward, a pacey, skillful forward. I'm going to offer £27 million. They want 40. They want 40. I don't think I can afford 40. I've got 61 million. I don't really want to spend much more than 32. I think this may be a no-goer. It is going to be a no-go for now. We're going to end that negotiation right there. Unfortunately, he is not the man for us at this stage. We're going to go for another potential one that I don't think we'll get for the money. Maximilian Bier, 23 years old, an absolute talent at Borussia Dortmund. Can play on either side and play as a striker. I'm going to go in at bang on 30 million. I think this is going to be much higher than that. 39. It might be that this is the one where we just splash a bit of cash. What about 34? Will they accept that? I don't mind spending a bit more. 36. Let's counter with 35, but let's add in sell-on clause of 10% and see if that's enough to twist their arm. 38. We're going to splash the cash, boys. We're going to splash the cash. But yeah, hopefully is going to be our play. He can play right mid, left mid, right wing. I'm sure we could convert him to a left wing if we needed to. And I think this is the smart thing to do. I potentially could get rid of Jean-Philippe. I really could. He's only on 45 grand a week, which is absolutely huge for us. I'm going to sign him on a 4-year deal. Disregard the release clause, as always. And we're going to offer him 50k a week to see if that is enough to get him over the line. It's a bit of an insult, to be honest. Oh, we're going to have to revisit it. Okay, I think we just need to take a break here. We need to take a break and reassess the situation. Back up left back we needed. Chavaria could be the one that we could potentially get fairly cheap. I'm going to offer £10 million just to see if we can get him in 13.1. We can get that down. I'm sure about that. Go 11.5. See if they'll accept that for us. They will accept 11.5. Okay, this could be a good little backup. He's not the best in the world. 78 rated. 28 years old, so he's not going to get much better, but we only really want a backup. And I think this could be a good, smart, cheap option. He's only on £23,000 a week as well, which is good for us. So we'll offer him a 3-year deal. Takes him to 31. He'll want that. No release clause, as always. Let's get into the wages. Let's offer him 30,000 and see if he'll accept that. He wants 51 with a signing on. We'll accept that. New left back through the door as well, boys. Richards is out the door. We said he may be, and he is. Richards is going to leave the club. No surprises there. We've got a little transfer fee of just under £10 million. He's off to Wolfsburg, so take that. It's money in the kitty that we need because we are trying to sign, of course, some more players. So that takes us to about £70 million in the transfer budget for now. Plenty of money to be spent. Another player out the door. Canvot has gone to Leicester City for £3.3 million. So we're getting rid of some of this deadwood just to try and keep the money coming in. We've got some scouts on their way out just as we're trying to find that potential backup goalkeeper, that right back position. It's not going to be long before we're putting some more offers in. There's going to be another player out the door. I think this is our reserve keeper who's going to be off to Bristol City. It is £2.4 million again. More money in the bank. We're just topping up the funds as we go. Time for another attacking option, potentially. Adley from Bournemouth, 26 years old, 80 rated, can play across the front line as well. So we'll go for £22 million, see if that can tempt them. They want a player exchange. There was absolutely no way in hell we are going to do that. Can't afford to be letting him go. Let's go £24 million flat. See if they'll accept that. 27.4. We'll counter once more with 26. See if that can tempt them one final time. 26.7. We'll accept that. Play alongside Jean-Philippe potentially. Compete with Jean-Philippe potentially. Try and get the contract done. I'll offer him 80k a week just to see if we can get that over the line. Adley is another Crystal Palace player, boys. We've got our new backup striker to compete. And that is the man we wanted. And he can also play a little bit wider as well. We may actually move him to a wide player if we can, because I think that might help us out with a bit of versatility. £26.7 million. Bournemouth to Crystal Palace, job done. Pablo Gazzaniga, and again, it's an absolute veteran. I'm just going to see if 3 million would please them. That would take it. We wanted the backup keeper. He's old, but he is just going to be our reserve. So again, he is there just to sit on the bench and play some of the cup games. Rotation, he's fine with that. Of course, he's 34 years old. 1 year deal, that's absolutely fine as well. Disregard a release clause. He's only on 20k. We'll offer him 22, just to try and keep him a little bit on side. He feels it's an insult. He's not coming. Brilliant. We're not necessarily looking for a right winger, but I think this could help free up Ismail Sarr. Bakayoko, 27.3. I'm going to offer 30. But he's 23 years old. They want 37. We'll counter this with 33. If they don't accept that, 34. We'll accept it. I think this is a good signing just because it may free up Ismail Sarr to play a bit more versatile and play him where we want him to play. Can we annoy another player? He's on 47. Give him a crucial role. And I could move Bakayoko to a left winger instead, potentially. I'm not sure how long that would take. That's the only slight downside to this. Wages. I'm going to offer him 60. We're not going to insult him this time. We're going to offer him 60 million quid. Will he accept that? He will accept that. Bakayoko is a Crystal Palace player. This squad is coming together, ladies and gents. Another player is through the door. We'll simulate the first game of preseason. That's how we're looking on paper. We're looking pretty good so far. Of course, the right back, we have got an injury to Munoz, so Imre is playing the 65 rated. That is why we're so desperate for a right back. But on paper, things are looking a little bit better. We're looking a little bit more classy across. We do have a 2-1 defeat against Seville, so we haven't got a lot of depth in this squad right now, which is why we still need to bring in a couple of players. But I think we're slowly getting in the right direction. We're slowly getting towards where we want to be. A few changes for the next game. Again, they're all irrelevant at this stage. We won't be playing any of these. We do get a 1-0 win. Curtis Jones, first goal of pre-season for him. Again, the last game of pre-season. Just make a couple of changes against Sassuolo. Hopefully get another win for a bit of confidence. 2-1 win. Cooper Miners with a double. Right, we're going to try again for Gazzaniga and hopefully not offend him this time. It was 3 million we offered last time. Just accept it again. Thank you very much. Now, let's try and not annoy Pablo Gazzaniga, the absolute veteran that he is. This time he's demanded 44. We're just going to accept it. I don't want to annoy him. Get yourself in here, Gazzaniga. We've got our backup keeper at long last. He is through the door. We are going to try our luck at Rico Lewis. Now, I think I might just offer like 28 million. It's a bit higher than his market value, and they wanted 10%. I'm just going to accept it. It may be higher than we would like. However, he can play left back and right back, and I think that's just absolutely massive for us. I think if we can get the job done, it's a really, really smart signing. Just because he had so much depth. And he would be a crucial asset to us going forward, depending on how long we're here. Again, we don't want to be here for very long, but of course we need to try and plan that we are. Rico Lewis is going to be one of our final signings of the window. He is through the door. A right back that can play left back. That is a big, big signing. Season starts. We'll have a little look at the start of the season's fixtures. It is Manchester City at home to kickstart things before West Ham away, Everton at home, Newcastle at home, Sheffield United away, of course, there will be some cup games sprinkled in there for good measure. I think we're going to have to play this game against Manchester City and hope for the best, ladies and gents. Season number 2 is officially underway. This will be your starting 11 then for the game. Henderson in goal, Mitchell left back, Stones, Lacroix as your centre-half pairing, Munoz on the right, Jones, Wharton and Cooper Miners your midfield 3 with Sarr on the right, Pino on the left. Jean-Philippe Mateta still leading the line. On paper, that's a very strong team, but we're coming up against one of the best. Much changed squad on the field at Selhurst Park. Welcome back to season number 2. We're underway and we're back on a sunny Saturday in August to take on one of the best in the land in Manchester City. They are going to be a side that we will be hopefully competing with if we stay here. So a win would be absolutely massive. I really like the signings we've made. We've spent a lot of money. We've also made quite a bit of money, but we now need to turn this into fruition as Foden's coming forward for Manchester City and John Stones against his former club is there to clear the ball. Go down the left-hand side for Manchester City. He is going to be a threat all day long. Munoz, thankfully, is back from his injury that he had in pre-season. Lacroix is there to beat Haaland and the ball comes into the box. Interested to see how we get on with our new centre-half partnership now that, of course, the captain, Mark Gay, has left the club. Lacroix steps in as captain. John Stones is there. Erling Haaland's there. Thankfully for us, it's over the top of the bar. Would not have been good. We're under the cosh a little bit here, as we would expect. Doku again. Down this left-hand side. Goes back inside to Rodri. To Haaland. Lacroix just not trying to overcommit. That's wonderful from John Stones to deny Reinders. Doku again. Lacroix there. Good. Physical. Centre-half pairing. Exactly what we need. And Jeremy Pino can potentially look to come forward as he finds Mitchell. Mitchell's going to try and find back to Pino. Does find Pino. Pino can now stretch his legs. Pino can keep stretching his legs. It's Jean-Philippe Mateta. Goes one more to Cooper Miners. On the edge of the box. Would have been spectacular. Donnarumma comfortably saves. That's the counter-attacking football we're going to have to play against sides like Manchester City. Haaland finds himself in a wide area. Tyreek Mitchell just brilliantly to read the ball. And now Jeremy Pino again can try and come barreling forward. It's Cooper Miners. Trying to find Jean-Philippe Mateta. Gets a little bit lucky. Wins the ball back. It's scrappy. Again, question marks will be asked of Jean-Philippe, I am sure. He has not had a good season 1. I am going to look to change his role potentially and just get him making some runs in behind a little bit more. I think that's what we need. He was an absolute superstar for us last season and might be a superstar again this season, but Ruben Diaz, absolutely no way we're going to get past him like that. And Manchester City have a chance to come forward, and we're treading water a touch here as Erling Haaland comes across. Lacroix now, the new captain for Crystal Palace, trying to shut the man down. Can he stop the ball coming to the box? Sensational. It is going to be another corner. Man City always a threat from the corners with Erling Haaland in the box. Lacroix can't win it. Ruben Diaz does, but it's wide. Ismaila Sarr, what a goal. What a time this would be to get our first goal of the season as Ismaila Sarr comes across. Ake closes the man down. We go to Cooper Miners. Cooper Miners is going to find Jean-Philippe Mateta. Can he get a shot away? Does. Deflected. Save by Donnarumma. Good football from us. Wharton. Ball comes into the box. Lacroix's there. Can he head it? No, he can't find Jean-Philippe. It's going to fall to Curtis Jones. But again, we've got our chances here. We've got chances. We just need to stay resolute and stay in the game. Underway. Not a bad first half. There's some positives there for sure. Absolutely brilliant defensively. We had to ride our luck, a couple of good chances, but we've also had our own chances. And we will get more chances, I am sure. We've just got to be clinical, but a point against Manchester City would not be the worst result on the first day of the season, that's for sure. And he find Pino, does find Pino, and Jeremy Pino now potentially can drive himself into the box and does drive himself into the box. Brilliant from Jeremy Pino, but unfortunately for us, Nathan Ake came across and stopped any chance of a counter-attack. Curtis Jones, brilliant from him though. Can he find Mateta? Does find Mateta. Mateta beats his man. Jean-Philippe to give us the lead. Oh, Donnarumma, what a save. A big opportunity at the start of this second half. Donnarumma shuts it down. Curtis Jones now. Chance from distance. Oh, it's just wide. It's hit the stanchion and I thought for a second it was hitting the back of the net. Donnarumma was scrambling. Jones into Ismaila Sarr to Wharton. Go back to Ismaila Sarr. Ismaila Sarr potentially is in here. Can he find Mateta? Does find Mateta. Mateta shoots. And again, the chance goes missing. The gaffer can't believe it on the sidelines. We have had a brilliant 15-minute spell here. Some fresh faces on. Debuts all around. Rico Lewis comes on against his old club. Adil from Bournemouth comes on to make his debut and has got an instant impact here as Sarr has been moved to cam position as Bakayoko comes on the right-hand side, just to try and see what Ishmael Sarah's like through the middle. Could be a good option for us in our rotation policy. I do think we need a cam potentially in on loan just as some backup for Cooper Miners, because he won't be able to do it all by himself, that is for sure. Chance for Manchester City to get something against the run of play. It's been all Crystal Palace in the second half. Phil Foden with the ball into the box. We'll find Reinders' goal. Sorry, it's Marmoush. It is a sensational goal from Omar Marmoush. No, it's not. He's offside, thankfully for us. God, what a finish that was. Pino now down this left-hand side. Now we've got a chance to potentially create something. Yeremy Pino has got the beating of his man. Can he find anyone in the middle? Tries to find a deal. Can't find a deal. That's a bit lacklustre from us. Sarr. Pino goes out wide to Bakayoko on his full Crystal Palace debut. Cuts inside. Bakayoko for 1-0. Does! We may have a new superstar, ladies and gentlemen. Because Bakayoko has just scored a sensational goal to potentially win it against Manchester City. Have we unearthed a little gem there, ladies and gents? Trying to find Bakayoko. I think Bakayoko is going to be offside. He is. We've got a minute or so plus added time to hang on. I say hang on. This would be deserved. Our second half performance has been nothing short of sensational, but the job is not done as Phil Foden comes down the wing. He's going to try and find Omar Marmoush at the back post. Can we clear our lines? Bernardo Silva, Aït-Nouri. Clear the ball when you win the game, boys. Mitchell's there. Mitchell, can you keep the ball in? He does keep the ball in, and that potentially is all she wrote, but we've given the ball away to Erling Haaland. It's scrappy, it's tense. Can we stop Erling Haaland right at the death? Can we stop Omar Marmoush? We can. Rico Lewis, please just clear the ball. Referee, please just blow your whistle. That's surely full time. It is a huge statement win at the start of season number 2 for Crystal Palace. A brilliant performance and a well-deserved 3 points. A breathtaking episode comes to an end. It's been an absolutely chaotic one with all the transfers. Of course, we will summarise all the transfers in and out as they go. We've got an offer from Tottenham for Dean Henderson, which we will reject, I am sure. But a good start, good solid start. Let me know what you think of the squad. Is it good enough to compete at the very top of the Premier League? Do we need anybody else in? Who do we need to get in? Let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you very shortly for episode number 2.